Ethan strutted into the living room like he was fresh off a magazine cover. Tight black shirt, loafers that probably cost more than my mortgage payment, and some designer sunglasses still on, even though we were indoors. He dropped his Louis Vuitton duffel on the hardwood and spun around like he was expecting a standing ovation. "Guess who just got back from Milan, baby?" he announced, spreading his arms wide. Sarah choked on her drink and burst out laughing. I didn't blame her. He looked confused, grinning like an idiot. "What? You laughing at the hair? It's Euro style now. Got it done in Florence." I didn't move from the recliner, just stared. I glanced at Sarah, who looked like she was trying not to cry from holding in more laughter. She knew. Hell, we both knew. Ethan wasn't just bragging, he was confessing. Quick note, before we start, how's your day going and where are you joining from? My name's Mike. I'm 56 years old. I live in Columbus, Ohio. Been a project manager in construction for over 30 years. I build things. I solve problems. I pay attention to detail, something my ex-wife Denise never gave a damn about. Denise was all big dreams and no follow-through, always chasing some new venture. First it was skincare, then a podcast, then some personal branding guru on TikTok. Every time she'd say, "This one's it, Mike. I just need a little support," and I gave it, every damn time. Paid the bills, covered her mistakes, listened to her pitch deck nonsense while she Googled how to make passive income from manifesting, or whatever garbage she was into that month. Deep down, I knew something was off. You can only fake ambition for so long before it starts looking like laziness in a nice outfit. But I kept giving her the benefit of the doubt, right up until she took it too far. See, I run fraud detection workshops for corporate clients, teach them how scammers move, how to bait and trace transactions. We use dummy accounts and burner cards with embedded alerts, real card numbers, fake funds. Only a moron would mistake one of those for a legit credit card. Denise was that moron. She swiped one of the dummy cards off my desk, thought it was a company card I'd been hiding, and used it to fund her breakthrough solo journey. First-class flights, spa resorts in Venice, leather boutiques in Milan. Problem is, the second that card gets charged, it pings the fraud team. I didn't blow up, I didn't warn her, I waited. And now here we were, her golden child nephew Ethan, home from Europe, showing off his success like he didn't just walk into the trap she set. Sarah stood up smirking. "Wow, Ethan, you really lived it up, huh?" He beamed. "Yeah, Aunt Denise said we deserved it." That was the last I saw of Ethan. He vanished once the fun was over, leaving Denise holding the bag. I stood and grabbed my phone off the coffee table. "Yeah," I said, "you definitely did." I didn't even need to look at the phone. I knew what it was the second I heard that first alert buzz on the nightstand. Then came the second and the third. By the time I rolled over and checked the screen, it was lit up like Times Square. 26 charges, all within 12 hours. The first was a first-class ticket from JFK to Milan. Then came charges at high-end fashion stores, Gucci, Prada, Fendi. A reservation at the Belmont Hotel in Florence. Spa packages, Michelin-star dinners, a private boat tour off the Amalfi Coast, a $5,000 leather jacket from some boutique I'd never heard of. She was moving fast, burning money like it was Monopoly cash. She thought she hit the jackpot. She had no idea she'd just walked into a trap that's caught executives, interns, even a CFO once. I got out of bed, put on coffee, and opened my laptop. Denise was now a red dot on a live map, and I wasn't about to warn her off it. First thing I did was call Greg. He picked up on the second ring, half awake. "This better be good." "It is," I said, sipping my coffee. "You remember that burner card we set up for the Kaiser Group training?" "Yeah." Denise took it. There was a pause. "She what?" "Used it like a real card. Just dropped 5 figures in Europe." He whistled. "You serious?" I sent him screenshots. Dead serious. Holy shit. Well, I guess she's about to be famous in your next workshop. We got to work right away. Greg logged in remotely and pulled the access logs on the card. We walked through the timeline. Denise had swiped it from my desk 2 days ago. Probably thought it was something I was hiding from her. Classic move. She'd always snooped when she thought she was missing out on something. While Greg built a timeline, I sent a flag request through my corporate portal. Less than an hour later, Agent Keller from the Financial Crimes Unit was looped in. I'd worked with him before, straight shooter, No time for nonsense. He called me direct. Mr. Daniels, I've reviewed the alert history on the flagged account. The volume and type of spending matches a pattern we track for luxury fraud. Classic abuse. She thinks it's a real card, I told him. No clue what she triggered. You're in the clear, he said. We've got the data and your paper trail checks out. Everything's logged. She's not just unauthorized. This is identity misuse. If she keeps spending, we can build a much stronger case. What do you need from me? Nothing, except patience. Don't tell her. Don't warn her. Let her rack it up. We're already in motion. Copy that, Greg chimed in. We'll keep everything backed up on my end. I'll pull down the statements and match them to IP logs and timestamps. Agent Keller sounded satisfied. Good. This one's gift-wrapped. That was the part that really got me. How stupid she had to be to mistake a dummy card for the real thing. She always thought I was the boring one, the steady guy, the one she could manipulate because I didn't yell or storm off or do drama. I cleaned up the kitchen, did the laundry, didn't touch her stuff. I wanted the house to look the same when she walked back in. No signs anything had changed. Let her brag. Let her act like she just conquered Europe. Every swipe she made dug her deeper. Greg called again that night. You sure you're good waiting this out? Yeah, I said. She's finally writing her own ending. I'm just holding the pen. Denise walked through the front door like she owned the damn world. She had on some flowing silk scarf thing, sunglasses on inside, and a tan that definitely wasn't from Ohio. Her hair was curled, nails fresh, lips glossed, and her suitcase, one of those designer duffels with the shiny gold zippers. She let it crash onto the hardwood with a dramatic sigh like she'd just returned from battle. Well, she said, dragging out the word as she kicked off her heels. That was exactly what I needed. I leaned against the kitchen counter, phone already in my pocket recording audio. She hadn't even looked at me yet. She walked right past, dropped her handbag on the couch, and flopped down like she was on a magazine set. Well, duh. Everything was, but worth it. She reached into her bag and pulled out a velvet box, popped it open. And this baby? Milan, pure gold. You like? I shrugged. Looks heavy. She laughed. God, you're so practical. Relax a little. It's all covered anyway. Oh yeah? I asked, keeping my voice steady. How'd you swing that? Her smile stretched wider. That mystery card you had lying around? Jackpot. You finally decided to stop being such a tight ass. I played dumb. You mean the company one? Oh, come on, Mike. She waved her hand. You were probably hiding it from me. Some secret bonus card or something. I found it. You left it out, remember? I just figured, hey, maybe he's finally loosening up. She laughed and tossed a scarf onto the table. And let me tell you, it worked. No flags, no problems, nothing. Like a magic portal to the good life. I nodded slowly. Glad you enjoyed yourself. She didn't notice the way I was gripping the edge of the counter. Oh, I deserved it, she went on, standing up now, stretching like a cat. After everything I've done for this house, this marriage, I mean, you wouldn't even have a personality without me. I needed a reset. A rebrand, I repeated. She nodded seriously like it was a business strategy. Europe was for the soul, for the brand. I networked, I posted, people loved it. The algorithm ate it up. I couldn't believe how fast she was giving herself up. You really didn't think I'd notice the card missing? I asked. She rolled her eyes. Please, like you ever notice anything. You live in spreadsheets and tool belts. I'm the one trying to build something bigger here. You're stuck in concrete. That one hit, but I kept my face blank. She walked back over, grabbed her phone, and started scrolling. I mean, seriously, I thought you'd be pissed, she said, barely glancing at me. But you didn't say a word. You actually played it cool. It was kinda hot, actually. She dropped onto the couch again and picked up the TV remote like she hadn't just committed a felony. I pulled out my phone and typed a text. She's back, ready when you are. Then I looked up and met her eyes for the first time since she walked in. Want me to grab dinner tonight? I asked, voice even. She grinned, propped her feet on the table. Sure, you're paying, right? I smiled, tight, controlled. Yeah, I said. This one's on me. 2 days later, she was still floating on that delusion. Denise sat on the couch in her robe, legs crossed, scrolling through her phone like she was reviewing stock portfolios. Hair in a messy bun, some reality show playing in the background. The same perfume she bragged about in Rome filled the room, sweet, expensive, and choking. She looked up from her screen just long enough to say, "I think I'm going to launch a course. You know, help other women design their dream lives. What do you think?" From stressed to slayed. That sounds good, right? I didn't answer. I was across the room, coffee in hand, watching the driveway. Right on time, headlights hit the window. I didn't move. There was a knock at the front door, 3 sharp bangs. Denise looked over, confused. "Are you expecting someone?" I set my mug down and walked to the door, my heart steady as a drumbeat. When I opened it, Agent Keller stood on the porch in a dark coat, badge already out. 2 officers flanked him, serious, silent. No sirens, no lights, just business. Keller gave me a quick nod. I stepped aside. "Come on in." He walked through like he'd done it 100 times, because he had. The officers followed, calm, controlled. Denise stood halfway up from the couch, her phone still in her hand. Excuse me?" Keller spoke firmly, no hesitation. "Denise Miller?" She blinked. "Yes?" "You're under investigation for multiple counts of credit card fraud and identity theft." Her jaw dropped. "What?" "Wait, hold on. What are you talking about?" One officer pulled out the cuffs. The other read her rights. She looked at me like I'd just smacked her across the face. "Mike, what is this?" I picked my coffee back up and took a sip. "Just let them do their job." No, this is a mistake," she shouted, backing up. "It wasn't fraud. It was a shared account. He gave me that card." Keller didn't flinch. "We've reviewed the logs, transaction flags, and voice recordings. You're not authorized on that account. You're liable." She turned to me, pleading now. "Mike, come on. You know I didn't mean anything by it. I thought we were fine. You didn't say anything." I shrugged. "You never asked." "Mike," her voice cracked. "You're really going to let them take me? I'm your wife. You should have thought of that before you bragged about stealing from me." Keller gave a signal, and the officers stepped forward. "No, wait! Please!" she cried, struggling as they grabbed her arms. "I was gonna pay it back." "Ma'am," one of them said calmly, "you need to stop resisting." They cuffed her right there in the middle of the living room. The robe she wore had little embroidered stars on it, a gift she once guilt-tripped me into buying during some other brand phase. She looked ridiculous. I didn't say another word, just watched as they walked her out. She was still shouting, still trying to spin it. "It was just a mistake! I thought it was ours. You can't do this to me." Keller stopped at the door and turned to me. "We'll be in touch for the full deposition." I nodded. "You know where to find me." He gave a short nod and followed them out. I closed the door behind them, locked it, and went back to my coffee. Still warm. Greg showed up at my house 2 days later with a laptop bag, a binder, and that look on his face. The one he gets when he knows something's about to crash and burn hard. "Everything?" I asked. He nodded. "All logged." Keller's got the server files too. Time-stamped, geo-tagged, matched to the transaction alerts. We sat at the kitchen table, same spot Denise used to sit and ramble about passive income while I paid the utility bills she forgot existed. Greg opened his laptop and pulled up the folders. "Here's the audio from the living room. She confirms she used the card, says you were finally loosening up, laughs about it being easy." I leaned back in my chair. She thought it was all one big joke. Keller joined us on Zoom. "Gentlemen," he said, giving us a nod, "we've wrapped the review." Her statement during interrogation? Total fiction. Said Mike gave verbal permission. Claimed the account was joint. Greg smirked. "But we've got receipts." Keller raised a hand. "Exactly. The recordings, the logs, the fact that the card was never linked to her name. I asked the real question. So, what happens to me in all this?" "Nothing," Keller said. "You're clean. No liability. Card protection's already kicked in. The charges are on her. Reimbursements handled." Greg leaned forward. "That includes fraud penalties too. The bank's pursuing recovery from her directly." I nodded. "Good. I'm not paying a damn cent." The next few days were quiet. Creepy quiet. I didn't hear from her. Not directly. But the silence online said more than she ever could. Her Instagram wiped. No new posts, no stories. No reels of ocean views or espresso in crystal clear glasses. Just a blank grid and a profile pic that vanished overnight. One by one, her side hustle sponsors dropped her. That skincare brand she used to tag every 5 seconds posted a vague story about integrity and protecting the community. Even her empowerment podcast partner deleted their episodes. It was like watching a tower fall brick by brick. She tried calling. I didn't answer. Blocked her number after the 3rd attempt. Left the voicemails sitting there just to remind myself how pathetic she sounded without an audience. Greg texted me. She's scrambling. I replied, let her. Then one of our old mutual friends, Diane, bumped into me at the grocery store. She was always more Denise's friend than mine, but we'd been civil over the years. She walked up to my cart, lowered her sunglasses, and said, "He dumped her." I blinked. Who? The guy she was sneaking off with before the trip. Real estate guy from Worthington. Once he heard about the investigation, he bailed. I chuckled. She was never good at picking allies. She's crashing with her parents now, Diane added. Said something about rebuilding. Good luck to them. She's telling people it was a misunderstanding. I looked her dead in the eye. It wasn't. She nodded slowly, grabbed her salad kit, and walked off. By the end of the week, I got official word that the jewelry, bags, and high-end garbage she flaunted were being repossessed or frozen as evidence. That custom perfume, tagged and bagged. Even the flights, invalidated and clawed back from her Travel Points account. It was surgical. I watched a video she forgot to delete, one of her spinning around in a Florence hotel suite, talking about deserving luxury and how abundance finds those who are aligned. I saved it, for the record. I was sitting on the back porch with a cold beer, burger on the grill, just watching the smoke rise when my phone lit up with a number I didn't recognize. Area code was local, probably spam. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me to pick up. Hello? There was a pause, then her voice, soft, shaky. Mike, it's me. I didn't say anything. I know you probably don't want to hear from me, she said quickly. I get it. But I messed up. I wasn't thinking straight. I was in a bad place and I panicked. I took a slow breath, staring out at the yard. The garden beds were overgrown, but they were mine. You didn't panic, I said. You plotted. Come on, she whispered. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that, Denise. You stole from me, lied to me, bragged about it like you deserved it. You didn't mess up. You made a move. You just didn't think I'd be smart enough to catch you. Silence. Then she tried a different tone, softer, warmer, familiar. I thought we were partners, she said. I thought you'd understand. I mean, yeah, I pushed too far, but I was trying to do something for us. You used to believe in me. I leaned back in my chair. Partners don't rob each other. Mike, we're done. And I hung up. No yelling, no dramatic send-off. Just one thumb on the screen and silence. The burger popped on the grill. A little too done on one side, but still good. 15 minutes later, Greg called. She took the deal, he said. Restitution, community service, and a stack of fines. Could have been worse. She's lucky you didn't press for jail time. Wasn't about ruining her, I said. Just stopping the bleeding. She won't be doing this to anyone else. That's for damn sure. I flipped the burger onto a plate and cracked open a second beer. The breeze picked up, cool against my neck. She's someone else's problem now, I said. Not mine. I took a bite, juice running down my hand, and let the quiet fill everything she used to drown out. The next morning, I took a box of Denise's crap. Vision boards, ring lights, 3 journals filled with half-baked ideas, and tossed it all in the garage. Didn't even read a page. I just slammed the lid shut and shoved it into the corner with the busted blender and her old treadmill. House felt lighter already. Over the next couple weeks, I pulled up every fake plant, cheap motivational poster, and live, laugh, love sign she'd glued to the walls. Painted over the pale pink accent wall in the bedroom with a solid navy. Tossed the sequin pillows, swapped out the furniture, and finally bought a recliner that didn't make me feel like I was trapped in an Instagram post. Then I took a weekend off. No phone, no emails, just me and my brother Ray in a dented aluminum boat up at Hoover Reservoir. 2 rods, 1 cooler, no one talking unless they had to. I didn't catch anything worth bragging about, but I didn't care. I hadn't breathed that deep in years. When I got home, Greg was waiting in my driveway holding a brown paper bag. "Final paperwork came through," he said. "It's official." He handed me the envelope with the court stamp, then pulled a bottle of bourbon from the bag. Seemed like a 2-glass night. We sat on the porch and passed the bottle, watching the sunset settle behind the neighbor's roof. I stared out at the backyard, the overgrown patch that used to piss her off. She always called it wasted space. That week, I tilled the soil, cleared out the weeds, and laid down rows. Nothing fancy, just tomatoes, peppers, and a line of marigolds for the hell of it. First time I dug in and didn't feel like I had to apologize for it. Sometimes I heard little bits about her, through Diane or mutual friends we used to see at cookouts. She was staying with her parents in Westerville, working part-time at some shipping center. Tried relaunching her personal brand, but nothing stuck. One of her old sponsors posted a takedown video that went viral. No one came to her defense. I didn't smile when I heard it. I didn't feel proud, just done. She used to make me feel like I was the weight holding her back. Like stability was a flaw. Like paying bills, showing up, being steady. That made me boring, small, but standing in my own house with my hands in real dirt, my own furniture, my own rules, that didn't feel small at all. I woke up before the sun, didn't even need the alarm. House was still, windows cracked just enough to let the early chill roll in. I made a pot of black coffee, no cream, no sugar, just strong and simple, and stepped out onto the porch in bare feet. The sky was soft gray with a streak of orange slicing through it, the kind of morning that didn't need to prove anything. Just quiet. I stood there, sipping slow, watching the light shift over the trees. No makeup tutorials blasting from the bedroom. No planner spread across the kitchen table with color-coded markers. No one asking if I'd remembered to pay for her mastermind course. Just peace. I thought about how long I'd carried the weight of being supportive. How many times I told myself her ambition just needed time to click. How many lies I let slide to keep the house calm. For years, I thought staying made me strong. But leaving, cutting it clean, that took guts I didn't know I had. My phone buzzed on the porch rail. It was Dave, heading out by 9. "You in?" He'd been inviting me up to his cabin for years. No signal, no neighbors, just a fire pit and the sound of rifles cracking through the trees. I'd always said no, always had a reason. Not anymore. "Yeah, I'm in." I grabbed my duffel, tossed in some thermals, my boots, a few cans of chili. Before heading out, I pulled the final court envelope from the kitchen drawer, the divorce decree. Signed, sealed, no appeals. I slipped it into a file with the rest. Receipts, documents, the fraud report. Labeled the folder closed and filed it in the cabinet. No more what-ifs, no more replays. I did what needed to be done. Outside, the truck was already packed. I walked through the house one last time, flipped off the lights, locked the back door, checked the windows. Everything clean, everything mine. I stepped onto the porch, bag slung over my shoulder, and turned back toward the house. It wasn't fancy. The siding needed pressure washed, and the mailbox still leaned a little to the right, but it was real, and it was mine. I smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because I didn't owe a single piece of it to anyone else. "Time to live my life my way," I muttered, climbing into the truck. The key turned, the engine fired up strong, and I drove.